Started.
I said started when you said started. Okay, never mind. What?
Don't do this shit to me again.
Don't do what?
The fucking everything about the countdowns.
What?
The fucking okay, so we did. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
So the last time that we did a countdown, like even I can hear it back in like when my stuff starts and everything. I was doing a countdown first, and then you were like a full second behind on the countdown, but you were like, oh well, I was doing it first, but whatever, and got real fucking snappy with me. And now this time I do 3, 2, 1 start, and you're like, oh, I said start at the same time. I don't fucking want to hear it.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said, oh, I started mine too. I was just letting you know that I also started mine on your countdown.
It's not the wording. It's not the phrasing that you had.
I didn't say, oh, I said start first. That's not what I said.
But it had the tone as the same fucking time as last time when you were like, it's like, oh, it's funny. I was counting it in first.
I don't. Okay.
It just had the same tone, and it made me upset again.
Are you ready to do the show now?
I guess.
Well then, welcome back to Closing Shift. I hope you all had a good week. We are your hosts, Emmy and Mia. You guys know us by now. We're on episode 10. We finally hit double digits. We're finally 10 years old now. Sorry, weeks.
10 weeks.
I guess those are different. But we would like to send a very, very surprised congratulations to Courtney Miller and Shane Topp, who have apparently actually gotten married when the entire world thought it was a April Fool's prank, because that's when they posted the initial wedding photos. But it appears that they have actually gotten married. Kane and Shortney from Smosh, who I'm sure some of you know. But I started watching them on Smosh with the Try Not to Laugh stuff in 2019. I remember because I was watching it at the college I was going to at the time. I would watch it on lunch. And it was like some of the funniest stuff I had seen in a while. And they were always two of my favorite Smosh members. But I even only just found out about the photos at all like 10 minutes ago. So I'm just processing all this still.
Yeah, I saw all this yesterday and was just trying to like, I've always been of the thought of it like, this has to be real. There's too much going into this to be fake. Although there was like one thing that like the one thing that made me think that it could be fake, other than it just being posted on April Fool's Day. Was that Shane, his suit had like creases in it, in like the pants and in like the jacket, and I was like, oh, if this was an actual wedding, then he'd iron his suit. No.
This is Shane Topp from iCarly we're talking about? You think he cleans up like that? No. You think Courtney gives a shit if he cleans up like that? Clearly not. That was a nice suit, though. I've never seen somebody wear like a brown suit like that to a wedding. It's a good suit. If you don't know what we're talking about, we'll put the photo on screen now. So if you look at your screens right now, any screen you're listening to this on, you can see the photo. It might look like a neon sign with another neon sign on the floor, but I assure you, it is one nice brown suit.
Yeah, look at it right there.
Yeah, it's right on the screen. And it's funny because we don't even do a video version of this show at all.
We do not.
We do not. We did for the first 2 episodes, and then we dropped the video version thing.
I mean, we don't even have to, because it's just like we had to do a video version out of a necessity that you couldn't just upload audio to YouTube.
But YouTube has now added, you can put RSS feeds into a playlist, yeah.
Yeah. So much more convenient.
It is convenient, yes. Besides that thing they do where it pops up as like private or unlisted at first or whatever.
Yeah, so it publishes at the same time as everything else, but it goes up to YouTube as unlisted. So it's like
you gotta like public it every time.
It's not on YouTube until the moment it releases everywhere else. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you can go in ahead of time instead of release schedule time for it on YouTube. It's just it only appears in the YouTube feed unlisted at the moment.
Yes, indeed.
So you got to be on it, which is why it's always late.
A little bit late.
But it's there. It's unlisted. If you want to find it, it's there. If you know, like, it's there at the same time every day of every week. You know, always on Friday. Always. Now it's at 2 p.m. PST because it releases 5 p.m. EST. So if you go into the playlists and you see it unlisted in there, you can still find it. It's just not on your homepage. It just won't be in your sub feed.
If you are a YouTube listener, you will probably see it sometime on Fridays between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m.
You will probably see it on Friday sometime between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah.
sometime in between there.
You'll just have to keep checking, refresh the page, see when it comes up. It's like tickets going on sale for something. You just gotta wait.
Yeah.
Refresh the page, see if you get in.
Gotta start selling tickets to listen to our show. Each episode is like $5 admission.
Yeah, how about every other show now we just do like a one of those like online concert websites, so you have to like buy a ticket to come to the show every week, and we don't put it out anywhere else.
See, that's one of those benefits of being like an in-person performance and like performing at a local thing.
Yeah.
Is that you can just say like, this thing here at this date, $5 admission, and people will have to pay the $5 to get in and see you in the first place before they even know if they like you or not. Mm-hmm. But on the internet, people always see you for free first. There's never like an upfront thing. Like there's no price of curiosity. And so it's like, it's so much easier in real life to like extract money out of the unwitting than it is on the internet.
Yeah. This is us greeting you and you meeting us right now. That is what your meet and greet is. I have only done personally one actual meet and greet with two fellows by the name of Matt and Ryan, which is also how I met Tanaya, who is our Big Wap Big artist. That was back in 2019. And also when you were talking about live show stuff, it reminded me of something my interviewee said on the latest episode of Getting to Know, which has been filmed and is coming soon. It shouldn't be out more than 3 weeks after this episode goes up for sure, but like it should be out in April.
Hype.
So the second episode of Getting to Know has been filmed. It was fun to film. I'm glad that I was as good of a host as I was for having so much trouble with my life that weekend that I filmed it, and I can't wait to film the next one and more stuff. I have finally gotten started editing it, and what was nice is that when I started editing the episode, I had a moment of like, I had like a sigh of relief, like, oh, I'm so fucking glad to be doing this stuff again, because I love getting to know. I love getting to know people. That's why that's what the show's called. I love interviewing people because it just gives me a chance to expand my horizons. Even when I will eventually interview people I already know, I'll get to know a little more about them, which is what happened with this interview. But I am not quite ready to announce who my guest was quite yet. And I have let them know.
Someday you'll be Nardwar.
And someday I'll be Nardwar. Although I'm not entirely sure what that means.
You don't know Nardwar?
Nope.
Famous interviewer. He always wears like a pleat hat.
You mean that Jimmy guy?
He has curly hair and he's like, keep rocking in the free world. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, no, I've never actually. I've heard the name Nardward. I've heard that like word before, but I've never actually seen or like heard of who that was. But I'm curious, what were you up to this past, we're filming this on what were you up to this past like week or two?
What were you up to on January 6th?
Where were you on January 6th, 2021?
Yeah. I've been mostly playing Stardew Valley. That's been my new kick. And by new kick, I mean old kick, but new kick, because I played it, apparently.
I thought you streamed on Twitch. Please continue.
Like, it gets updates every so often, like major updates, and I've been seeing there be major updates for several years. That's just like, it adds so much new stuff, and I'm like, every time that happens, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go play it. Okay, maybe I'll go play it now. You know, every time something new comes in, but then I never did. And so a new one just came out like a couple weeks ago. And this was the one where I was finally like, you know what? I'm in between games. I could just use something like this. And so I'm finally playing Stardew Valley again. And I checked my Steam achievements to know when the last time I played it was 6 years ago. And so it's like some things, weirdly enough, I still remember. It's been a while. It's been a while. So like, I remember some stuff. Definitely helped me to have like a good, easy start if I want to see like new content. Being able to like know what I'm doing already has been very good. But it threw me for a loop. That's like, damn, it's been that long, and there's like so much new stuff that like I just like. Yeah, I expected it to be like, oh, there's going to be a new event here. There's going to be a new event there. Different things like way further down end game content. But no, there's like major changes to like every part of the game, like where every section of the game has like something new going on that I'm like, whoa, that wasn't there 6 years ago.
It's the interesting thing. I haven't had a game like that in a long time. The biggest change I ever had to deal with in a game like that, I guess, is when the influence of like our whole social circle got me back into Minecraft as often as we were playing it, I probably hadn't played Minecraft in, I would say 2020 probably was like when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I probably hadn't played Minecraft since I was like 16. So like all of the new shit, and I already wasn't very familiar with Minecraft stuff. Like I still don't know like potions and brewing stands and a lot of the nether and end stuff. I'm not very well versed in that. Like I'd have to learn a lot to actually beat Minecraft in this time.
Oh, nobody learns potions. They just look it up.
Well, yeah, but I mean like things that someone like Boomer can do in Minecraft are not things that I could even imagine doing in Minecraft. Boomer creates like villager slave trade. I could never.
Yeah, the secret of that is watching Hermitcraft.
That is true. He does watch a lot of Hermitcraft. But I just, I mean, in general, in terms of consumption of Minecraft content and learning from that, I didn't consume content like that. I mean, the closest I got was like, I picked up on some of the stuff with the pack back in the day and Sky Does Minecraft a little bit, but only just enough to like get the jokes and the references. I didn't watch them like as YouTubers. When I picked Markiplier up in 2013, that was pretty much it. And then he started associating with other people, and when he did that, I started picking up on them. And it probably wasn't around, or it probably was around the same time-ish, like 2020 to 2021, that like, well, I mean, from like 2013 to like 2020, I picked up and fell off of a bunch of channels in between there, I'm sure. But now I'm subscribed to like over 300 channels, and I watch most of them, to be honest. It's actually kind of crazy. Just like back and forth, not all that. I don't keep up with all of them consistently. I keep up with like my mains. Like I've been watching some more Game Grumps, and I watch the Power Hour every week, and I still watch Markiplier. I've been watching a little more Jacksepticeye here and there, and I've been subscribed to, I mean, Game Grumps I picked up fairly late even, and I think we talked about it, but I picked up Game Grumps like a few years after I picked up Markiplier, just because I saw like one of their videos and was like, oh, this is actually really funny. Then that was a whole thing. But Markiplier, my friend, when we were kids and we were 13, just like showed me one of his SCP videos. Was like, dude, you gotta see this guy. He's so funny. And I was like, oh yeah, he's pretty funny, whatever. And being an ambivalent little asshole, I didn't actually pick up Markiplier and kind of like didn't pay attention. And then I picked him up later on my own when I actually cared, because as a kid I was very against taking other people's suggestions, because before I actually socialized with regular people, the social suggestions I always got were just like people telling me what to do, and I hated it. So I was very used to rebelling, but that eventually led me to committing property damage and getting almost arrested. So I'm not going to talk more about that.
As with everybody.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Now I'm just, your lovely 24-year-old gal, growl, with,
Growl.
that has that has a chronic autoimmune disease, technically autoimmune disease, but it makes everything worse. And my lover and my partner in life is coffee nowadays. Running coffee. No, just regular coffee.
My first exposure to SCP content was through Markiplier, but like I didn't really understand what was really going on with it at first, because the first SCP video of Markiplier's I ever got recommended was the SCP Containment Breach mod where 173 is replaced with Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
And so like that was like my first thing that I saw, and I was like, what the fuck is this game?
I love that one.
and then like eventually I had to I went back through his playlist and I was like, oh, so that's what's going on. What does this have to do with Pinkie Pie? I was still confused. There was a lot of My Little Pony back in the day, just ambiently.
Yeah, that was before men decided it was gay to like My Little Pony, I think.
The things that I think like My Little Pony stuff was everywhere because it was easy to meme on, because like it's one of those things that was easy to make fun of. Or,
now, memories are blurred and their faces are obscured, but I still know the words to this song. I know all the words to that like chorus from the Pinkie Pie Bard because of TikTok. It was like a huge audio when I was first around the app.
I guess like My Little Pony back in the day, it kind of got memed in the same way that like Peppa Pig kind of does now. Not in any way to compare their quality, but that's just kind of how it was. It was like different times. There's always. Sometimes you can look back and you're like, oh yeah, we really did make fun of that thing so much.
Pinkie Pie was our Peppa Pig.
Yeah, they're both pink, And they both go.
And they both have alliterated names.
They do. What's the like minimum amount of letters that you can like name your child? A lot of websites, they if you want to put in like a name, it has a minimum of like 3 characters. But like, can you just have a kid with like just their name is just the letter P, and it's like to the front of the class?
You're saying what's like the minimum or the maximum?
Minimum.
I don't know if there's like you legally have to have at least 2 letters. I don't know. I've never looked into that. I'm sure we can find it out.
Let's find out by having a kid, and we'll try to name them a single letter. I mean, there's certainly names that you legally can't name your child. I know that much.
Craziest baby naming laws.
All right, let's hear it.
Wait, hold on. Now I want to see these. Hold on, let me pull this up from the bump.
Saying, all right, let's hear it. I just reminded myself of Dan McClellan on TikTok. He always like starts his videos like that. He's like, all right, let's hear it.
So it just is like the craziest baby naming law from each state. So I guess I'll just go through this. In Alabama, you can name a baby anything you want, last name included. What?
Kid, your baby doesn't even have to have your last name.
It doesn't. Only the English alphabet is allowed. While apostrophes and hyphens are okay, numbers and symbols aren't. In Arizona, there's a 141 character limit.
God damn
45 for the first name, 45 for the middle, and 45 for the last. And 6 for a suffix.
45 first name, 45 middle name, 45 last names.
Yeah. Apostrophes, hyphens, periods, and spaces are okay. Periods. So I can make my name a whole sentence.
Period.
That's period.
Slay.
Arkansas, you can have apostrophes, hyphens, and spaces in a name, but they can't be consecutive. So you unfortunately cannot do ME __.
I feel like that would be like whenever there's like an AI voice reading out something with a lot of apostrophes or a lot of numbers side by side, and it's just like it doesn't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. Also, this is still Arkansas. Baby, baby boy, baby girl, baby boy, baby girl. That was baby boy and baby girl with and without a space. Infant, test, unk, and void are invalid entries in the data entry system. Okay.
I mean, why would you want to name your baby?
I know. What?
My grandma wanted to just call her cat like Kitten. Is just like what she wanted to just like call it Kitty.
That's what my grandmother's cat name is. We call it Kit, but its name is like Kitty, I think. California, derogatory or obscene names are banned in California. Only the 26 characters of the English alphabet are allowed. Pictographs such as smiley faces or ideograms such as a thumbs up sign are specifically banned. Damn it.
Damn.
I wanted to put Emmy and then the rock and roll hand emoji in my name. Damn it.
I can't make my name the bumper sticker of Calvin peeing on something.
I have no idea what that is.
You have to know what that is. Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes, and it'll be like him like peeing on like, it'll say like Biden or something. Famous form of bumper sticker.
Connecticut. You may choose any name in Connecticut, so long as it's quote, not for fraudulent or nefarious purposes and does not infringe on the rights of another person, end quote. And it uses English characters. I guess that's like written in the law in Connecticut. So
you can't just like you can't just name your child like Beyonce's Victim.
Or like
yeah. I've sent you the
Liberty
sticker.
Mutual's #1 slut. Yeah, I see it. I think I have seen that before. I don't know the name though. Okay, Florida starts with if parents can't agree. Okay. If parents can't agree on a first name, none can be listed on the birth certificate until both parents sign an agreement or a court selects a name. Wow, everybody fighting down in Florida.
Why don't we just split the baby in half?
Then we both get a name. What if they have twins? Is each one parent get one baby?
You know that it's got to be a system. Like a lot of parents have to have that kind of system. Like I get to name one, you get to name the other.
Florida would start their like system for that with some stupid fucking rule. In Hawaii, there are no limitations. Even symbols are allowed, but the state's computer software does require each symbol be accompanied by at least one letter. All right. E apostrophe M apostrophe M apostrophe Y apostrophe and then an extra apostrophe. That's
that makes sense because of like just the way that a lot of Hawaiian names are.
Yeah, that's just, that's just such a state that starts with an H thing to do. Just makes sense,
There's no other state that starts with an H, is there?
Nope. It's just Hawaii.
Indiana.
Kansas is also the only K state.
Now there's Kentucky.
Wait. Oh, Kentucky's not on here. I guess it just doesn't have any weird rules.
Kentucky, weirdly normal for once.
there's an ad for some pregnancy thing, and I just saw a video of an animated fetus. But anyway, that was gross. In Idaho, only letters are allowed. Special characters such as asterisks are banned. Illinois, there are no restrictions on what a parent may name a child in Illinois. Recent updates to the state's computer networks even allow for quirky names. such as number 1 Dur or 2 Dashrific. So far, no parent has taken advantage of this with the baby's first name, but there's a child whose middle name is the number 7. What the fuck is going on in Illinois? That is crazy. Let me send you this exact, rule, this screenshot, so you can just see wonder and terrific, because that's...
Is it supposed to be the word wonder and terrific?
Oh, dude, it totally is supposed to be wonder. I didn't even pick up on that.
Oh my god, it took me a second.
That's so dumb, though. In Indiana, home
of the brave, baby!
Yeah. No rules regarding first names in Indiana! ! They're excited about that one. But if mom is unmarried at birth, baby can only be given her mother's... Why is they set her for the baby as if that's just to be assumed that it's... Can only girls be born in Indiana? That's why you're trans.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Baby can only be given her mother's surname unless there is an affidavit proving paternity. So you cannot give the baby a different last name unless you prove there's a father.
Indiana is very archaic.
Louisiana. This one's really long. You can't name your child an obscenity in Louisiana or use diacritical marks. So Andre with an apostrophe E isn't allowed. Accented E.
What the fuck?
As for the last name, if mom wasn't married within 300 days of birth, baby's surname must match his mother's name. Again, you're giving the baby pronouns. It's not born.
I'm more confused about the 300 days.
If the mother has been married within 300 days and has not produced the head of at least 7 oxen, then she shall not be able to name the baby with any special symbols.
Yeah, within 300 days of birth, baby's surname must match its mother's name. If mom is married, baby's surname will be the same as her husband, unless the parents agree to change it. In Minnesota, numbers and all special characters are banned. Apostrophes and hyphens are the only punctuation allowed. Each name, first, middle, and last, is limited to 50 letters each for a maximum length of 150 characters.
Minnesota killing the vibe.
So it can be a little longer than a tweet 5 years ago. Cool. That's really long. Question, am I allowed to turn my baby's name into a thread, or do I have to just leave it at one?
Can I retweet my baby?
Can I retweet my baby's name? IRL. Mississippi. If mom is married at the time of birth, the baby's surname is automatically that of her husband. The parents would like a different surname. The request must be verified and witnessed by a hospital rep. So you mean just any nurse or whatever, just the janitor can be all right, I witnessed it. You got it.
So even if the mother hasn't taken on the surname of her spouse, of her husband, presumably, if the mother has a different last name than the husband, they're still going to put the husband's last name as the default on the baby?
As the default, unless they agree to change the surname of the baby and it's been verified and witnessed by a hospital rep, which I'm assuming means a doctor.
That's fucked up to make it the dad's, though, by default, if the mother doesn't have that surname. You didn't fucking make it.
Also, does is there somebody, I mean, I guess this is a side tangent, I kind of want to get through the rest of this, but is there a legal representative in a hospital that does the birth certificate sheet, or is there is a person for that? It's not just the doctor.
It's people who I don't know if it would be the I don't know the official position, but in hospitals there is a dedicated staff. Basically, there's you know what to do about everything relating to the legality and the requirements of birth. Mm-hmm. There's people
Gotcha.
that have that on hand, and that people who know the legality of it.
Montana has no rules on baby names, but its data system doesn't allow for special symbols. If a parent wants to use a symbol, once they receive the birth certificate, they can write it and send it back to the Vital Records Office for approval. That's kind of a rule.
You think we're gonna get a law in 20 years or so? It's your baby's name cannot be 3-dimensional.
Your baby's name must be a JPEG file by 500 by 500 or less.
Your baby cannot be formatted in FAT32.
Your baby must be a word that is recognizable by smart devices. I don't know.
We are going to check your baby's name for copyright.
Do you think, imagine the legal system allows for them eventually to just be like, Echo, add this baby's name into the governmental system database.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think like it'll just happen like the baby's just gonna pop out of the womb and they're gonna do like a fucking like 3D scan of the baby and be like, registered.
Yeah, that'd be really funny. Just like an MRI machine, but it's just a laser that scans that 3D models the baby.
Just birthing straight down a chute that like puts them into a scanner.
It's just like a TSA security line, but for like babies that were just
like on
born.
a conveyor belt, you gotta pick up your baby around the other side.
Oh yeah. In New Mexico, diacritical marks, special characters, and baby boy, baby girl, male and female are banned names. Wow. I feel like those should be banned anyway. Why wouldn't you?
The only reason I would suspect why it's actually banned is just because it would mess with their system.
Yeah,
but like,
probably.
Still, like I think a lot of these rules are just because like their computers don't know how to handle that information.
Sounds like a lot of these rules came up because somebody tried them.
Yeah, it's like the law only existed because somebody tried to type in a 144 character first name on a Windows XP computer that the state still runs off of.
Yes. In Oklahoma has no name laws, but its system limits names to the English alphabet. You can't say has no laws, but that's not how that works. That's a law. Like you can't. Well, I mean, I guess it's saying like you can give them a name that doesn't have letters in the English alphabet, but they just like they'll just be like, it doesn't compute with the system. I mean, technically, but like it's not going to be real or whatever.
It's like how every single thing that's like trying to be like edgy and free is always like, there's no rules here, but there's one rule.
That's like, there's an episode of Regular Show where they like go to this place with no rules because they're tired of Benson's rules, like Mordecai Rigby. And then they're like, you actually do have a rule here. You have one rule, and the rule is no rules. So you're a hypocrite or something, and then he explodes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tennessee law is silent on first names, but there are a few complex last name rules that it does not tell you. So cool, I guess.
Awesome.
Got to find those out for yourself. Vermont says, quote, you may use trademarked names. What? IBM, diseases, in parentheses, anthrax, and obscenities, but we highly recommend against it.
This is my baby Lockheed Martin anthrax.
All right, we're doing attendance. COVID Lawrenceville, Wisconsin. When one Wisconsin mom wanted to name her child a numeral, the state required that the number be spelled out. Okay, that's not really...
You ever see how French people spell out their numbers?
No.
So in the French language, the like their counting system and their names for numbers, it like, so, you know, we are very simple where it's like, you know, it's in every integer of 10, we go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, 12, like, you know, very simple. Like as soon as you get out of the 11s, like out of the 10s, basically, then everything just becomes like a form of like 20 this, 20 that, 30 this, 30 that. French doesn't work that way. Like if you want to like write out the number 80, you don't just say 80. It's 4 20s. So like you write out 4 20s.
420. Are you saying that you can name your kid Five Nights at Freddy's?
I'm going to look up really quick what the so it was a huge relief for the French when the millennium rolled around, because when they had to write out like the year 1999, they would have to write out 1999 for 1999. 1999.
Okay.
Just for the year. They have to, it's all so long and complicated.
Yeah. Much like my penis.
Yes.
Long and complicated.
Many twists and turns. Maze-like, even.
It's like a snake. It's just all over the place. You mind if I hit the bathroom real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, I'll be right back. Enjoy me while I'm gone for a minute. Or don't.
Enjoy me. Witness me. Here, I'll just play the Google Translate audio of how to actually pronounce that French.
1999.
Yo, it's... It sounds like you fucking say these nuts. Yo, that's great. Yeah, so 19 in French.
19.
That's funny.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry I returned.
Oh my god, that was a long ass piss.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just that. It turned into something else in the middle of it.
A poop?
Yes, a poop. Because all I've had today is one giant burrito and a cup and a half of coffee.
Bowser's Big Bean Burrito.
Anyway, what were you guys talking about?
I discovered what the number 19 sounds like in French.
And that is?
Oh, it's not playing anymore. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
It won't do the fucking audio anymore. This sucks. I needed to fucking press on the speaker. Come on.
19.
There it is.
Seize nerf.
19.
Well, ain't that something? I love how loud this chair is. Makes me love, like, sitting in it. Just get home all the time. Be like, can't wait to sit in that chair of mine.
I love a nice creaky ass chair. You know, I need to get like a rock. There needs to be like a gaming chair that is like a rocking chair.
Yeah, that would be great.
I need one. It's, you know, rocking chairs are just, they're great. They're great sensory tools.
When I had a bigger bedroom at my previous home, I had a recliner rocking chair in it, and it was fantastic. I still have that chair. It's just in my living room now, but I miss it up here.
So I did actually, whilst you were away, I took the opportunity to check in on my statistics of, because I've actually started like putting stuff on TikTok, like my clips. I've actually just started uploading to TikTok in a very easy manner because of Twitch having the cropped portrait thing in their clips manager. So far, been pretty good for like engagement. Just actually like putting my stuff in places where people are going to see it.
Right.
So I intend to keep doing that.
Yeah, I honestly, I have a lot of fun when I go look through my regular content to put something over to TikTok, because it's fun. It's like working on a little project. Making TikToks and YouTube shorts like that is good for setting like small content goals. You can be like, all right, I'm gonna make a TikTok of this clip, and then, you know, people like you and me, we could whip those up in like 10 minutes, and then it's like an accomplishment. It's nice.
Well, the thing is that with Twitch's thing, like Twitch has the option of like cropped portrait, that it can like, you know, you can set like a face cam area and like a game area, or you can just do the full screen, be like one region, and you can export that directly to YouTube Shorts and to TikTok.
Yes.
So I've done that for a couple clips, and other ones I have to like download the clip and then like censor some words, because I actually got a community guideline violation on a privated TikTok this morning. This privated TikTok being a clip that I uploaded just a while ago of, you know, I said the fuck word. You know, even though I hadn't even published that clip yet, I saw it had a community guidelines violation on it, and I was like, okay, good thing I didn't publish this yet. So I deleted that draft and like just censored it and put it up properly. But it's like, man, it's gonna give me a violation for something I haven't even posted.
Yeah.
Weird. It's definitely good to cross promote any kind of content. I've been very lazy about it for basically my entire duration on the internet, that I'm like, I'll just keep making what I'm making where I'm making it, and that'll just be what I focus on. But it doesn't really work that way, where you can just like stay in your own lane and continue at a good pace. You really have to like, you gotta start fishing around different ponds, because there's not as good discoverability on places like Twitch. There's very few streamers that I have discovered through Twitch.
Yeah.
If there's any streamers that I watch, it's because I found them on a different platform first, because Twitch is terrible for that. So you have to apply that to yourself and like put yourself on other places to draw into Twitch.
You certainly do. And I mean, that's something that I recognized a while ago, even though it took me a while to actually start doing it. But I've seen some fantastic results from doing that. The first two clips I posted in the Cosmic Emerald sense, because I didn't really do that on Mocha Superior, but the first two like good Cosmic Emerald clips I posted them back before the Ultimate compilation existed, and they were the 3-finger Battle Arena clips, and one of them just like, it didn't get like that many likes, but it got like 700 views. And my most recent success, I talked about it in an earlier Closing Shift episode. It was like one of the first Closing Shift episodes. I reacted to the Epic Mickey remake announcement, and that video got like over 10,000 views total across TikTok and YouTube. And that's why you do it. That's what the cross promotion is. I got like 10 new YouTube subscribers that day just because of that.
Yeah. I guess the most difficult thing about it is just having to be consistent with it to actually see any benefit out of it. Because you have to do probably about a dozen TikToks before you gain like one actual viewer. You know, and not even that. It's like you gotta be Like, you gotta be basically begging for, like, any amount of engagement on any of it. That's just, like, constantly just, like, you have to be put out everywhere all the time with as many eyes as possible for the slightest chance of growth. And you have to keep doing that forever.
Well, yeah. I mean, what is different for me is that's not what I think about when I am approaching content mentally. Like, in any sense, I only do everything I do when I'm able to have fun doing it, which is why last year was so hard for me to do so much of it consistently. But in terms of the cross-promoting stuff, I usually just post, well, in general, I post when I can. I don't post on like any kind of schedule. And also my videos, like I just released a new video the other day and I forgot to like announce it, and it has like 14 views in 4 days, which is fine. You know, it's not like my most amazing video, and it's re-uploaded, so it's 720p 30 fps. I'm not really like looking for that video to majorly succeed. I just want to make the best stuff that I can, so I just put a lot of mental effort into making it the best I can from the stage of conception to finishing editing it.
I guess that's like the most difficult thing, is that it's like, it doesn't really matter how much effort you put into something. The most important thing is having to get a million eyes on it. Unfortunately, in the state that content creation is in now, where it's like, yeah, I'm very proud of my streams. I'm proud of the videos that I make and everything that I put out. But that doesn't mean that it can like stand on its own, because it's just, you know, nobody's going to find it, because it's not going to be pushed out on its own merits. And it, like, you have to like force the system into giving you a chance.
Yeah. That was why I felt so lucky in 2022 and early 2023, because that was like the time when my videos were growing the most in views. And YouTube does, for some reason, just really like to push my video every so often to just like hundreds of eyes. And I don't know why it does that. I feel very lucky every time I get a lot of views on something like this epic Mickey reaction video. That was just like, I must have just done something right on accident. Like, I didn't plan for that video to blow up. I only uploaded it because I thought my reaction to it was funny. And I think that good gut feeling is just what I go off of, you know, because I know when you said like the most important thing is getting millions of eyes on it, is not like actually what you like personally see your content for. But
no, of course not. But it's like, I want to make something good, but I don't want it to like be wasted on nobody. Like, I want people to enjoy it, but there's not going to be people to enjoy it unless I force the system to like give it a chance. Right,
and that's what I try my hardest to do is continue on. For a long time I was of the mindset like, you know, I could work on and put tons of effort into this whole thing, but if people don't see it, then it was a waste of time. But for me, well, let me think about how, like, what I'm trying to say, so that I don't want to sound like a guide when it comes to making content, just because I've been doing it for over 10 years and I've seen the site change. I've seen both sites change several times in many different ways. I mean, if I was someone you should look to for how to succeed at it, then I would have more subscribers and I'd get more views. What I do know is that there are people who consistently validate me and tell me that, like, they enjoy my content, or like sometimes I'll like bring up my content. When I started releasing those videos in 2022 and I started with the 3 scary games, I asked people in our friend group with like Boomer and stuff, like, hey, would any of y'all be down to watch this video I made? Because I'm curious what you guys would think. And a lot of them liked it. And ever since like the Mika interview and I started seeing my videos getting hundreds of views, now when I make videos, I know that at least a few dozen people will see it to some degree. And I have some hope that YouTube will push it to more people, but also there's a huge part of me that forgets that viewership's even part of it, just because for me it's enough that I made a good thing. I don't want to say this like it's not enough, or like it sounds like it's not enough for you or like anybody else. The reason I only say like me is because I only can speak from my experience. So I'm afraid to try to speak from other people's because I don't know what's going through other people's heads. And when I say for me it's enough. I just mean that when I think of a good video idea, I'm like, that's dope. And then I get it like filmed and it's like being filmed and I'm confident in it. Because there have been videos that I filmed and then after I filmed them, I'm like, that's not a good video. And then I trash it. That happened several times last year. And that's why I didn't even release more than like 1 or 2 videos last year. But I'm so excited to make the videos I have ideas for now because all of the ideas came from a surge that I gave Twitch streaming consistently a try. I streamed like fairly consistently from like October-ish to the end of January-ish. And that was fun. And I do like streaming. And that's why I made a VODs channel so that I could put those somewhere separately and they could all be like listed and fully appreciated there. But I still like making the full productions I make on stuff. I still like getting to know people and having my interview show. That's why I wanted to bring it back. I still really like playing indie horror games. That's why I wanted to bring back 3 Scary Games. And that is coming back soon. There's just so many other ideas I have. Like I have this whole idea for this entire like series with me and Chandler, and I had different show ideas I do involving other people. And I just want to make stuff, and I'm going to keep making stuff. And as long as people keep appreciating it, I'll keep appreciating that appreciation, and it will continue to motivate me because that's more than enough. I am curious if you have thought about this. What is like the first direction you would try to head in terms of expanding your content horizons past just Twitch streaming? And I say that because I just know that's the main thing you do. Like I assume you don't ever usually like prioritize TikToks or shorts or YouTube videos.
No.
And if you were to, which like direction would you head first? Probably.
I think like if I want to expand in any direction, I like doing live content. That's like my primary thing that I do.
Right.
But if I'm going to expand in any direction and like change, like go in any, like do anything that's more than what I'm doing now,
right,
it would definitely be something pre-recorded. And I know I talked about it last time. Mm-hmm. That's like, I just want to make stuff that's like not content, basically. It's stuff that it's on the internet and you can watch it, but it's not exactly content, is kind of like my thought on that, of like the direction I'd want to go.
What do you mean? Do you mean not content as in it would be more professional than just like content? Or do you mean like it would be something completely different?
Just something completely different. It's like something that just exists and then gets put on the internet isn't really content. It's not something that's made to be an internet video. Mm-hmm. It's something that is like, it exists and also just so happens to be on the internet. But it's not like, yes, it's not made for an audience. It's not made for views or likes or anything like that. It's not made for engagement. It's made to exist and be its own thing that isn't like, it isn't like a live show. It isn't a let's play. It isn't something like that. It's just something.
Right. The closest I've thought to that kind of mindset when I make content is that my favorite thing about my content, and the reason I made the ultimate compilation last year and like added subtitles and made it funny and added edits and stuff, because I subtitled every part of that video. That video took weeks to finish. And the reason I did that is because I use my YouTube channel mainly as a place to document, as like a photo album, like a video album. Like I love keeping shit I've done with my friends there because I can go back and view it anytime. That's why I'm like thankful the lock video is there and it's there forever. Like I can always go back and watch that video. I can always go back and watch the compilation and get any of my favorite clips from it. I still have a folder of all the clips I was going to use, which I didn't use all of. It's just so awesome to look back and think about how many different me's have been out there over the years, because I love doing this stuff.
My mentality around making stuff online is the same mentality that I have as a chef, because I like to cook in my own time. I like to cook stuff.
I don't even know this about me, but I like to cook.
I like to cook. Like my mentality around it is the same. Like I enjoy the process of cooking. I get a lot of self-satisfaction out of making a meal and then eating it and enjoying it and saying to myself, that was really good and tasted really good and I liked making it. But at the same time, for like I have the same goal for cooking as I have with content creation. That's like, I don't care if I get compliments on something that I cooked and people telling me that it tastes good or whatever. Mm-hmm. What's important to me is that I see you finish what you're eating. Like the likes don't matter to me. The engagement doesn't matter to me. what matters to me is that like somebody saw it and they saw it through. That it was something that like that they wanted to stick with and give it the time, give it the effort, and like actually just see and enjoy and witness. And it's like I for me, like if I see something like a video that has like a really good watch time, that to me is the same satisfaction as a clean plate. Like I made something that you wanted to sit through. You did something like you wanted this, and you like actually like took it. That's my mentality around a lot of that creation. Is like I'd rather see a clean plate than compliments to the chef.
So what you said before, you meant more so like you want to express yourself and create the art. But when you say you don't care about, you don't want to like make it content. You don't want to put it out there as like an internet thing for people to observe and react to. You just use it as a place to like put your art so you can express yourself. Is that what I mean?
Yeah,
is
it's
that
like
kind of
basically, yeah. It's like I see what I do online as a place mostly of just like, this is where I'm going to do the things that I want to do in the way that I want to do them. And if you want to grab a plate, be my guest.
Yeah, the counter is full of food. There are plates. Grab yourself some food if you'd like.
Yeah,
the counter is your channel, and the food is videos.
Exactly.
I feel generally the same. Like in the same sense, like it makes me really happy. I guess in that same like clean plate way, it makes me really happy that my third most viewed video is the ultimate compilation, because I worked really hard on that video and it means a lot to me that people liked it. Same thing with the fast food tier list with Schultzman. I'm really proud to be only one of our friends with Schultzman in their content.
Minecraft wedding officiator.
Yeah, he did do that. And also it was just cool. Like he agreed to be in the video on a whim. I just like the morning that we filmed that, I just like at everyone in our friend server at the time was like, is anyone free to do a fast food tier list right now? And Schultzman was like, I am. I was like, this is the best day of my life. Let's go. It's been mostly fun. My only fun I've had reacting to the numbers on a personal note is to see exactly over time, because it's been years since that stuff came out. So to see over time what has done that well in the long run and what hasn't. And a lot of it makes sense. What hasn't. So I'm just going to keep, making stuff. My hope is that I will continue to make stuff. And eventually when it does become important enough for me to pay attention to what the audience thinks all the time, that I will have a strong community that I will have built on the foundation of stuff I like to make. And that whenever I do stuff, my audience will be like, yo, new Cosmic Emerald video, check it. Because, I don't want to like go to every social media I have and announce that I just released a new video. I'd like to just put it up and then leave it and see how it does. Yeah. Like that's what the sub feed is for, and notifications on YouTube. I've thought about that a lot recently. Like maybe I should just like make videos and put them up. But if my community wasn't so based around like following me on like Discord or Twitter or Instagram, then I wouldn't go to that, because I care about them too. As much as I am not like looking for reactions to my videos or people to give a shit because I'm just expressing myself, there are people who care that I continue to make stuff. So I want them to know that I am. And I'm thankful for those people, because there's more of them than I would have thought there would, even though you could count them probably on two hands. I just love making stuff. And that same like struggle to create that I've experienced, that a lot of my friends are experiencing right now, especially in terms of YouTube, is like why I want to collaborate with them in so much content. Because it's just like when you collab on stuff like YouTube videos and YouTube projects with your friends, it just encourages you to want to make stuff more. So I'm like, hey guys, I'm free range over here. I'm making stuff. If you guys want to make a video together, we can, and it can get us both back in the mood to make stuff. Because that really worked out for me and the person I interviewed on the latest episode of Getting to Know. And yeah, we've talked about the episode since we filmed it and been like, yeah, that was like really fun actually. That's why I like making stuff so much with you. Like honestly, I would love if Big Wow Big could just still be a thing. And I think it could if we only uploaded once a month. But I also want both of us to be healthy, and I don't think doing Big Wow Big the way we were is that healthy. But I do just want to continue making stuff with you. I would like to eventually do a long-term Cosmic Emerald project with you, but I like that we get to do this too, because this podcast has been one of my favorite things to do this year.
You know, it's nice to have something like this that, like, the podcast is relatively low effort in terms of, like, it is difficult, like, to actually record it and, like, keep a conversation for, like, over an hour and make sure that, like, you're actually saying good words.
Right.
But at the same time, having something like this that's, like, it's like a checkpoint for my week where it's, like, I just get to have, like,
Same.
a good conversation with good people. It's like the Dark Souls bonfire. You rest at it, restores your health, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? This content creation stuff is pretty fun. It's pretty cool that I get to do this.
Yeah, for sure. I also see it as a checkpoint to my week. And the best part is, like you said, like in terms of the actual work, is that we just have to talk for an hour to an hour and a half, and then besides that, we just talk about shit we would talk about anyway.
Yeah. And when I get to editing it, it's not even that bad to edit. Because I can just listen to it in 2 times speed and then just like make whatever cuts on the fly. Like every edit that I have to make for this show takes me about 10 seconds to do.
Yeah.
And so I can just like, even, you know, I'm putting good effort into it still, and I'm checking my work, but like it's so quick and easy. And like, I just get to just put something out that I can be proud of really easily.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to have the opportunity to edit this show more. I've been so exhausted recently. I mean, like, you know, that I went to the doctor this morning, but I went to the doctor this morning because I've been, my body pain and my migraines have gotten way worse over the last couple months. So I'm dealing with that. I got to start some new medications for it and see how it goes. But over the summer, I'd like to try to edit this show. I mean, I'd like to try to make more stuff in general. You know, I have a lot of plans for Cosmic Emerald over the summer, and I'd like to try to do this more in terms of editing. But I just want to collaborate on stuff more. I mean, any chance I've had over the years, a big part of making stuff when I am putting in effort, when it's like a show like on Cosmic Emerald or something, like one of the biggest parts of it for me is whether it's like a friend or a fan or a community member or like a family member or whatever, but anybody that I've ever been able, and if you're listening, thank you for what I'm about to say, but anybody that I've ever been able to have the opportunity to inspire them to make anything creative on their end is awesome, because that is all I would ever want to do besides help people legitimately in terms of like charity goals and stuff, is just help people be creative and feel like they can be creative, because I love that idea. And it's not like I want people to be like, oh my God, you're my God, you're my God. Like, I wouldn't be here without you.
Goated.
I'm not the goat. I just love like people being inspired from my stuff to make their own stuff.
I guess the really nice thing about being able to make content with other people and collaborate on something is that when you're making stuff just on your own and doing your own thing, sometimes it's easy to get in your own head and say like, what I'm doing here, like this video that I'm trying to work on, it's just not worth the effort. There's no point in trying with this. I might as well just like not do this. But then when you're doing something with another person, it adds like a level of reinforcement where it's like, well, I guess this has to be worth it, because it's not just me saying that like I want to do this. There's like a whole other person that validates this existing. Somebody else already gave it approval, so that must mean that it's like actually worth something.
Definitely. A lot of that comes from, you know, seeing positive community reaction to your video too, but it's just so fun when you get to make a thing with your friend, you know? It's just like playing a game with them or anything like that. We're stronger together.
This has got it back together. Well, I suppose that brings us to the end of this here, them, there episode.
All right.
See you next week.
See you next week when we have our guest, Jeff Hardy, on the show. We'll see you next week with Jeff Hardy.
Yo!
Not really.